beautiful friends. I'm Ashley, and welcome back to Seeking Out Sunshine. And you have found yourself at my July completed pages video. I don't know about all of you, but these are my very favorite videos of the month, and I am so excited to see everybody's pages, and I'm excited to share my month with all of you. So we're going to go ahead and start with, I have a couple whips that I intended to finish this month, and I did not get to them. So normally I don't worry about the whips because I kind of always have a few things working in progress, but these I really was hoping to get done, and it just didn't happen. In Small Victories by Johanna Basford, I've been working on this page, and if you have been following my channel for a little while, you know that this is a book that I just take with me when I am going to my children's activities, or I'm going to be away from the house and might have some downtime. I'll keep it in my car or whatever. And I've just been working little by little on some of these pages, and I was really hoping to finish this little mushroom house page, but it did not get done. I've only used so far the Star Gold Joy colored pencils on this page. Last month I did complete this page, but yeah, so my goal is just to continue little by little in that book, and fingers crossed I will get that one done for August. Next, I actually started 3 pages in this book this month to play, but I have one that is not complete. I will try to have all of the videos that I have done pages with down below so that you guys can easily see them. But I did a video where I talked about using acrylic paint markers with a water brush, and that is how I based this entire page. So I would put the water brush on in just little spots, and then I would use the acrylic marker on the page little by little, and then I would use the water brush to blend it out. And I used the guana acrylic paint markers. And it was so much fun. It was so relaxing. I just could not stop doing this page because I was having so much fun with it. But it's definitely a process that I think that I will do again next month. But that is my whip that I need to go back to and do some pencil work and some other mediums on top. But again, really enjoyed this process. Highly recommend it if you have not tried it out yet. And then that takes us into the completed pages. So I'm going to go ahead and start with this book since I do have 2 in here. The first one is this page. We went to my in-laws' house last weekend, and so we had about 5 hours in the car both ways, and I spent some time coloring. So I just needed some easy pages. I based all of this with watercolor and then went on top with some metallic watercolors and some gel pens. I took my A&Art gel pens and then had about 8 jelly rolls with me as well. So between those, I just kind of did some gel pen work and a little bit of pencil on here, but not a ton, and just kind of called it good. Again, it was just a fun page to do while I was in the car, easy to handle when it got a little bumpy and so forth, but a lot of fun. I love sunflowers, so that was definitely a page that called to me when I saw that. So that was the first page that I did, and then the second page was this one, and again, I started this one in the car, basing it all in watercolor, and that was about all I did in the car. And then later on went back and did the shading with my Prismas, and then pulled in some gel pens. I used some of my Reuben metallic watercolors on here, and then did some covering of the lines with my Languo acrylic pens. So that is that page, and this one just called to me because this is where I would love to be in the mornings having my coffee in this beautiful scene that is provided with these mountains and this, lake. Hopefully it's like this crystal clear water. I think that just sounds amazing. I would wake up and just sit at a chair or a table and color and take that scenery in. So loved that page. Oh, and I'm so sorry. This book was Mountains and Wilderness Coloring Book, and it is just a book that I can play in and try things out. So it's very Shutterstock pages, and I'm still learning how do I color with all the intricate lines and extra lines and so forth. But you know, again, just playing with different mediums and trying new things. Next, we have Cozy Cuties, Cute and Comfy Coloring Book. And this is a color along on my channel. And I really just use these books for like a breath of fresh air, something to kind of be a palette cleanser between more detailed pages. And I did this little canoe page with the dog and the bear. Alcohol markers. I used my iguana acrylic markers and then some white jelly roll, and that was pretty much it, I believe. But pretty easy page. If you go back to the video where I do this page, you'll see the process of me trying some different things out, because originally I had the sand as grass, and then as I kept going I realized that's not grass. That's probably sand. This dog turned out completely different how I first originally intended it to, but it just shows how mistakes sometimes can lead to maybe not necessarily better things, but things that work just as well. So yeah, that was my page in Cozy Cuties, Cute and Comfy Coloring Book. My next page comes from a new book. This is Shooting Star, and it comes from my beautiful friend Michaela here on YouTube. She sent me this book, and I had to jump right in and complete a page. And I chose this beautiful castle cloud page. And again, I hopped on a video with you guys and did this gel crayon background, and then hopped on a second video and finished off the page because I wanted to add some more clouds. And I had gotten these fun little star confetti pieces, and I just knew that this page needed like a million of them. So I added those and finished off this page with you guys with some glitterific and so forth. But I had a lot of fun. This was my color palette that I used for this page. All of the castle and the shooting stars are in Prismacolors, and then a little bit of ink. I think I based it with some Neocolor 2s first as well. And the clouds are Neocolor 2, and then the glitterific obviously on the highlighted part of the clouds. And then I did use a secure jelly roll to do all of the dots, go over the black dots that Maria had there. But I love this book, and I think Michaela and I are doing a buddy color in this next month, and I'm so excited to see what page she picks. So you'll be seeing this one again, but lots of fun. And again, if you didn't see the video on how I did the background, be sure to check that out if you are interested. Next comes from Folk Art Escapes, and this was a book that I found at one of our local thrift stores for like $1.50, and I was really inspired by Erica over at Elm Colors, because she was doing some dopamine coloring, and I was like, I just need that. I need that freedom to just kind of scribble and have fun and see what happens. And so I picked a color palette, and I just said I'm going to go to town on this page. There was one little spot on this page that had already been colored, and I was like, that's fine. You know, I'll just go over it and make it the best that I can. But I had so much fun with this page just going on. I used my Crayon Super Tips and some gel pens and some glitter gel pens and a little bit of pencil. And it was just one of those that I could sit down and just enjoy and not have to think about. And it's just bright and cheerful. And that was the whole point of that process. So lots of fun. And then again, this one had a couple pages that had some, color on it. But it'll just be a fun one to play in and try some new things out in the future. Next, we have Color Me Dinosaurs for kids. And I picked this Berry Onyx page. I loved this page because I have a story that I shared on an earlier video about my son being a Berry Onyx when he was little. and bumping into he was 3 at the time, my 3-year-old, and being a little aggressive and rough, and my 3-year-old did not like it. And so I told him, I said, tell the dinosaur to be nice. And to which my 5-year-old at the time replied, I am a Berry Onyx. I am a carnivore. I cannot be nice. And so we laugh about that video all the time because I don't even do it justice, the way that their facial expressions happen and just how my 5-year-old responded about being a carnivore. And it's just like anytime we hear about a baryonyx in our house, we all laugh because it takes us back to that moment. So this was definitely a page that just brought me joy to color because it made me have the opportunity to reminisce about a moment in my life. And I will always think about that moment out on our deck when I look at this page. But I based everything in alcohol marker, so Hoo Hoo alcohol marker, and then went on top with some pencil shading with my Prismas, and then lots of guana acrylic marker on top. But again, just another really fun page, and this book is so cute. I like the size that it's a little bit bigger than like a cute and cozy book. And I like that the pages are a little bit more detailed. So lots of fun. I think this illustrator is wonderful. All right, next we have Pop Manga, The Best of Pop Manga. This is by Camilla D'Erico. And I saved a background in this book with this page. So I had started a background. I felt like it was a complete hot mess. And so I was like, okay, let's see how I can save this. Decided to hop on a video with you guys and got out my gel crayons and got out some stencils and just kind of went to town, and I ended up falling in love with this page because of that. So this is a little like side note to all of you. Even if it doesn't seem like it's working out, see how you can pivot, see how you can change, what can you bring into the page. And if you already aren't happy with it, it doesn't hurt to try something else. It doesn't hurt to do something new and just see what happens. And so once I got the background done, I went with Neocolor 2s on this little monster guy. And I knew I wanted him to be like dark grays and blacks, and then thought the pinks and the yellows pulled in from the background would be fun for the accent colors on him. But I just love how this turned out. I wish I kind of would have gone on top of these eyes with some of the thick glaze, and I might go back and do that and just sharpen up the eyes a little bit. I am one of those people that when I go back and look at my pictures, I'm always like, oh, I could have done this and I could have done that and so forth. But I think that's just who we are as humans, right? We're always looking for ways to add and grow. But yep, super fun. I was glad that I could salvage this background, and it could turn out to be a page that I just love looking at now. Next, I have a couple pages in Nightfall by Maria Trolle, and the first one is this cat page, and I finished this up at the beginning of the month. It was so fun. I did a granulating watercolor, Gansey Tambi watercolor background, and then I just really wanted to try some different colors versus just like what you would expect for this page, realistic colors and so forth, and just pulled in these purple vines and brought that teal color in with some highlights of some yellows and stuff, and then kept that coloring throughout the butterflies and the bumblebees. And then on the cat, I did oil pastels and pencil. So I love how that turned out. And then I did oil pastels on the top and the bottom to kind of like pull the picture back together to the center. And again, I really love how this turned out. This was a page that I didn't really enjoy looking at prior, I guess. It wasn't one that I was like drawn to, and I had so much fun doing it, and now I love it. So I think that that's something to, the cat kind of intimidated me because I was like, how will I make this look realistic? And we just have to take that pressure off of ourselves and just play and have fun and see what happens. Because most of the time it works out to where we learn something and we at least enjoy the process. Okay, and then the next one was this one, and it was also a video where I showed how to do a soft pastel background, but the whole reason that I did this video is that I had a couple people reach out to me and say, how are you able to color on the back of your pages that you rhinestone? So I do have a video out there that discusses that and kind of like what I think about and what I do, but I have never had a problem coloring on the back side. You just have to think about it a little bit differently. And have, some mediums that work really well. It also depends on the book and so forth. And there's techniques you can use with like putting a clipboard underneath But you can definitely color the back pages. It's not like you lose the page if you were to use like alcohol marker or something on that side. But I was able to do a soft pastel background. I used the acrylic paint markers in this video, like I did in the whip I showed at the beginning, where I would color a little bit and then use the water brush to blend it out. That was my base for all of the flowers and the leaves and the bird. And then I went on top with some colored pencil and gel pens, and acrylic gel pens. So you can kind of see some of that subtle like sparkle that is in there. I love the gold that is on those flowers. I just think it's such a soft, pretty look. But yeah, again, lots of fun. This was not on my radar to color this month, but because I had a beautiful viewer ask to show that, I was able to do that. You know, again, it was on the back of this page, so I was like, this is the page that I'll do it on and show. But it turned out to be just like a pleasant surprise that I got to complete this month. So don't be afraid to use mediums on your pages, because there's always something you can do on the back side. Next is a long-standing whip that I've had for a few months in Kirby Rosant's Worlds Within Worlds, and it is my turtle haunted house page, and it is finally complete. I started this page a couple months ago when I got my granulating watercolors from Gansey Tamby, and if you watch that video, I used not enough water on this page, and it is so thick. Just for reference, this is the exact same Gansey Tamby watercolor down here when I used water appropriately and it spread a lot better. And this isn't bad or wrong, it's just I was brand new and learning, and there's always a learning curve with our products that we get and our mediums that we use. So know that when you start using a new product, your first page you do is not going to be your best page, and nor should it be, because it is a new coloring supplies. So give yourself grace and patience, and allow yourself the opportunities to play with it until you find how it works for you. Because again, somebody else could do this page with all the exact same supplies that I use, and it still would look different, because we just have different methods and techniques that we do. So, but love this page. It's my first completed page in this book, and again, I did this background because I was like, I don't know if I ever intend to color this page, but now I love it, and it gave me a lot of opportunity to play with my Derwent ink tints. That's what I based the entire turtle and the haunted house and trees with. I went back on with pencil. I have some acrylic markers on here, and I went in with just like a soft pastel up here on the corner, just to give it like a little bit of a moon, almost through the haze effect there back in the back corner. I went back and forth. Do I do a moon? Do I not? Do I do a moon? So I kind of just wanted it like fading in the background of this like really hazy greeny gray sky, and I like how it turned out. So that is my turtle haunted house page in Kirby Rosant's World Within Worlds. Next is a new book. I got this book for my husband. He congratulated me last month on hitting 500 subscribers, and oh my goodness, guys, thank you to all of you. I cannot believe that I hit that last month, and so he was so sweet and got me a new coloring book to congratulate me on that little milestone. And so this is the one that I got because he knows that I love this artist, and it is Fairies in Dreamland. And I did this first page, this title page, just to kind of play in it and get a handle of the paper. I didn't know if it would be the same as my other Denise books, and I feel like it pretty much is. But I based everything with watercolor, and then went on top with pencil and gel pen and glitter gel pen and rhinestones. And then on last week's Strokes of Sunshine video, I did the background with all of you. So I used some King Art gel crayons, and then I had gotten a new glitter when we were down on my in-laws' house, and I just knew it had to go on this page and live here. So with you guys, I think I only went to about here, and then the more I looked at it, I was like, that needs to like trail off more. So I did go back and add more later, but I really love how it turned out. I think that little fairy is so cute. I have Sakura Jelly Roll, like the silver glitter gel pen on her wings, and I love that. Hopefully that like sparkle on the little wings is showing, but just so fun. Have some rhinestones on the flowers, and you guys know me, if you've been around for a while, your girl's gonna have pages with rhinestones. It's just gonna happen. But I love this book. I think Denise is such a fun illustrator, and I cannot wait to do more pages in her books. And I hopefully have like a surprise to share next month about that, but we'll see how that goes. But that was Fairies in Dreamland by Denise Klett, and I am so excited to color more in this book. Okay, so the next three are my buddy colors. And my first one is with the sweet Michaela. Now, Michaela has a YouTube channel. Please go check her out. I will put it up on the screen. It is Michaela Colors and Creates 4030. And she asked me if I wanted a buddy color in this book. And I was like, absolutely. You tell me the page and we'll do it. So again, I think I've said this on a separate video before, but I so far have just let my buddies kind of pick the page because it pushes me in a new way, because most of the time they are going to pick a page that I would not pick myself. And so that pushes me outside of my box. That pushes me outside of my comfort zone. And that's when I grow the most. And I think that happened again this month with my buddies. And so I'm so grateful for all three of my buddies for picking wonderful pages that made me think outside the box and think about what could I do to make this picture and this page really like be representative of me and like what I'm feeling in this moment and just how I am creating right now at this time. So this is the page that we did. Michaela picked this beautiful beehive page, and I had a blast. I started this background with gel crayons. It is also a video up on my channel, but it was so easy. It looks more, complicated and complex as it's finished, but it was just about building colors and building up those gel crayons. Later went on with my Ho2 Gold around some of the hives, but then did the brown color around some of the others. And so that was the background. The bees are all ink tints, and then went on top with some glitter gel pen for the black portions, the black stripes of the bees, if you can see that. And then after I did the shading on the wings with some colored pencils, I went on top with Glitterific. And I have loved the Glitterific this month. I'm pretty sure the Glitterific is on all three of my buddies. So if that tells you anything, that's a little bit of a theme. But then I kind of had picked a color palette that I wanted to stay in and then use that for the butterflies and the flowers. I would say that my favorite part of my page would be my bees and my beehive. The flowers and the butterflies, they're fine. I just wouldn't say like, oh my gosh, they're my favorite. I think if I were to redo them, I could probably do them a little bit different. But again, I'm super happy with how this page turned out. I think it's so fun. I'm going to slide my book over so I can put up Michaela's picture right here. And oh my goodness, Michaela's picture is gorgeous. I actually love the creativity that she had of just taking some of the beehives, and then I think she covered it up with like paint or acrylic marker for other portions, because it made it look so much more realistic, like a beehive actually does. And then I love the shading that she did. She did amazing shading. Her bees, you guys, if you look closely, the stripes on her bees are rhinestones, and they are so cute. I absolutely love them. I think they are so phenomenal and so creative. And then I just love all of the rhinestones that she used on her page. That's actually what started our conversations over the last month, is kind of talking about rhinestones on our page and how to use them. And she just nailed this, in my opinion. I think it is so cute. Her colors are wonderful, and it just turned out amazing, Michaela. So thank you so much for buddying with me, and I am looking forward to doing another one with you in Shooting Star next month. So that was Hidden Earth by Rita Berman. Next, we have Pop Manga, Beauties and Beasties. and I buddied with the beautiful Allie over at Allie RDJ on YouTube, and I will put her on the screen for all of you to go visit. But we picked this axolotl page for finding joy in color. The animal this month was the axolotl. So again, we picked this page and I was like, oh, this little axolotl octopus beast. How am I going to color this? But I had been playing in my art journal where I was just putting down water and then adding the watercolor to it and just kind of seeing how it dispersed. And so I said, let's try it on a page. And so that's what I did. And that's how I started this background. And then I went over with some Reuben metallic watercolors just to give it a little bit more depth, and thought, what if I outlined more of the like prominent ink blobs with my Ho2 Gold? And I'm so glad I did, because I just feel like it made it this cohesive background that made a little bit more sense to me. And then I went on top with some Jelly Roll white pen, and then they had all of these bubbles on here, so I outlined all of them with the Jelly Roll white pen and then put the Glitterific on some of the bigger bubbles. So I think if I kind of move that around here, you can see that. But I love how this background turned out. It kind of is like a galaxy-like type of background, but not. I just love the big, bright, bold colors. And then for my little axolotl, I did Neocolor 2s. Definitely 2 layers of Neocolor 2s on this guy. And then there were some places that I actually went in with a 3rd layer by taking it off of the Neocolor 2 crayon and adding it on. Camilla did have some areas of horns on the axolotl here and here, but I added more and kind of changed them up a little bit just to add a little bit more detail to them. And she had the little suckers for the octopus, but then I went in and added some of these extra details as well. And the suckers are just acrylic markers, and then the spots are acrylic markers with a little bit of pencil shading on there. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Oh, I did the thick glaze on the eyes. If you can kind of see that. I think that is all I used. So I am going to slide my page over this way so I can put Allie's right here. And I love Allie's. So Allie's makes me smile, because if you have missed her dab 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 video, you got to go check it out. It's like if you've watched Legally Blonde, the whole time she was like doing the video and she's like, and you dab 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 and you dab dab dab. It reminded me of Legally Blonde when they do the bend and snap. I was like, oh, this is like the bend and snap of the coloring community. Like everybody's going to be in their pages going dab 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 and you dab dab dab. Allie, you just cracked me up. I love you to pieces. But I love that I can tell her whole background was a dab 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 background, and it looks fabulous. Like, it is so fun. I love all of the shades of blue that she was able to get to create like that depth in the ocean, and then the shadow she created behind her axolotl. I was like, ooh, is it the axolotl's shadow, or is like there a bigger one behind it? It's so great. She used the traditional like pink color of the axolotl, so I love that. And then we really wanted to challenge each other this month with this page to work on our like shading, and she is just crushing it. And that is one thing I appreciate so much about Allie, is that we challenge each other in new ways, and we support each other on that journey of just trying to learn and grow as, you know, coloring artist. And it's so fun. But Allie, I love doing buddy colors with you. You push me to grow every month, friend, so thank you. And I just love your page so much. So that was Pop Manga, Beauties, and Beasties by Camilla Derrico. All right, my next page and buddy color is in Pop Manga, Flights of Fancy, and this was a new book to me this month. I had been talking with the wonderful Allie over at Color Mama 360, and we decided to do a buddy color, and I was like, do you have any pages planned? And she had mentioned this book, and I was like, great. That's been on my list. I'll grab it. So we decided to do, she had this page planned, the Queen Bee page. And I was like, oh no, another bee page for buddies. But I was like, nope, that's good. It'll make me think outside the box, like I said. It'll make me try something new. And boy, did it. I love this background. I had so much fun. I took my regular watercolors and then my metallic watercolors in the light blue and the gold. And I just like splotted down different areas of them and then did the like the plastic wrap technique where you bunch it up and then you put it on the wet paint and you let it dry. And so that was the first layer, and then I peeled all that up. But you can see like all of the really cool spots that like got this awesome texture from the plastic wrap. So that was layer number 1, and then I came on top with a stencil that I felt looked like a beehive and just kind of brought in my black gel crayon and did some of those areas to add in like that beehive feel. And then I took a break and I was like, okay, I'm going to work on the bee. And I did all Neocolor 2s on the bee's body and then on the wings. That's what I decided to use for like the shadow and shading part. And I believe that that is on my latest Weekly Whips video. I do have a background video that I should be putting up for this background as well, hopefully in the near future. But then I went back. She had, Camilla had all these crowns in the back and like little heart details, and you'll see those a lot better on Allie's page here in a minute. But I decided to outline some of them with a glitter gel pen, just to kind of pull those out from the background. I didn't do all of them. And then I had gotten, when we had gone to my in-laws' house, we ran to Michael's one day. I ran there with my father-in-law, and they had a whole bunch of like glitter and accents on clearance for $2, and they had these little queen crowns, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing with those. And so I grabbed them and knew that they had to be all over the page, and I love them. And then at a recent Dollar Tree haul, I grabbed these little hearts from one of the packages that I got there. And again, that haul video should be coming out in the near future as well. Have so many videos, guys. I'm just getting way too excited. And I put those down instead of bringing out the hearts in the background. I just kind of let those, you know, melt in the background and be there, but not actually pull them out. And that was my background. Then went back on top of the wings with some Glitterific, and then used the 3D gel on the bee's eyes, and then a few rhinestones on the crown. And I just love how this bee page turned out. I've said it before and I will say it again. I love Camilla's books. The paper is amazing. They make me feel like I can just play and be free and like have so much fun. And I think that is such an important part of coloring, that it has to be fun. It has to feel like we're it's childlike and it's fun again. And it allows our creative juices just to kind of like unfold and see what we can do. And I really love her books, because every page that I create, I feel that way. I feel like I'm just a kid that's like, oh, I got new paints, and like, let's see what I can do with them. And oh, I got this, and let's see what I can do with them, versus like somewhere along the way in life we're like told so many things that make us like go back into a box and play it safe. And it's just like, oh, color inside the lines and do it the right way, and, you know, do this. And that's not how art is created or intended to be. So had so much fun again. So I am going to slide my page over here, and I'm going to put Allie's page up. And oh my gosh, her purple on her page is gorgeous. I wrote back and I was like, what did you do for the background? And she told me distressed inks, and she must have like magic distressed ink powers, because I don't think I could get a background to look like that with my distressed inks. Like, I can use them for accents and I can use them here and there, but she probably has some like magic like tips or tricks that we all need to know. Allie, if you're listening to this, maybe you can make a video for me on how you do distressed ink backgrounds, because it is so rich and vibrant, and the amount of different like shades of the purple that you see is just awesome, and I love it. I love that she also went in and like outlined the little crowns with some different colored gel pens, and then the neon yellow that she used to pull out those hearts is just chef's kiss. It was like love that color. I love how it pops off that purple. It's like so great. And then I love the bee's purple eyes. I just think that that's so fun. But man, our bees look so similar. I can't get over like how similar they look. And I don't know what she used for that. It could be Neocolor 2s. They look very similar, but I think our bees would be friends for sure. So, and also guys, Allie just celebrated 1 year on on YouTube. So like, go celebrate her, go give her some love on her recent posts that she's had, because she is just doing great things for our community, and it is such a pleasure to have buddied with her this month and get to know her better. So thank you, Allie. I love your page, and I had so much fun. So again, that was Pop Manga, Flights of Fancy by Camilla D'Erco. And we are at the last book, friends. You made it. So this one is from the brand new mythographic Alice in Wonderland by Joseph Kattenbang. And this book is a book that I have joined a coloring group. I've never done one of those. So this is my first time. It makes me a little nervous. I was like, what if I can't color a page every month? And it was like, no pressure. If you can't, you can't. That's just how it's going to be. But we are doing one page every 2 months. And it is put on by Jennifer over from TugleyWoodColors. Sorry, Jennifer. And then Kimberlyn over on Instagram, and she is B312Colors. But they are collaborating together for this awesome book collaboration that we are all going to color this whole book at some point. That's the goal. That really overwhelms me because I've never finished a coloring book. But you know what? There's got to be first time for everything. So we did the title page for the first time, and this is what I did for mine. And when I first opened up the book and I heard we were doing the title page, I was like, okay. But then I saw this background that was just kind of open with the title, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And I went back and forth because the title page is the same as the cover. And sometimes when I see like a page already done, it really messes with me and how I want to color it. So I was like, okay, I feel like I have to do something different. And I just felt like Alice in Wonderland is such like an iconic story that spans so many generations. I was like, what if I make it more like of an antique feel with some pops of color? And then as I started thinking about it, I was like, I want it to feel like it's the book, right? That it's like come out of the book. And so I got out some tracing paper and I traced the entire like shape and decided to pull out a page from one of my antique books and then traced it out of there. I antiqued that page up, and then I had copied the cover page before. So then I cut out just the part from that page that I wanted, and I like scrunched it all up in a really, really tight ball and then laid it back out flat so that when I went on with my distressed inks, it would catch on those grooves of where the paper had been folded to really look antiqued and old, even though it's just a normal piece of copy paper that I just printed off. And then I glued that down on top. So that was the idea. Again, I filmed a lot of this process and hope to make a video with some of those things, but that was the center and kind of like the focal point. And then everything else, I wanted to kind of feel like this antique feel with some pops of color from like the purples and the blues and the greens. But everything else really just kind of staying in that brown family with the golds. But I based most of this page with alcohol markers to start, and then a lot of pencil work on top, and then a lot of gel pen throughout too. And then one thing I did do on top of the gel pen is I played with a couple different brands that I have, but I didn't want it just to be the bright gold. I wanted to be able to get in there and antique a little bit. And so the ones that I found the best for that were my Grabby jumbo glitter gel pens. And I think all the Grabbies would work. I just used the gold from that set, and it really led me to like be able to do the antiquing on there with the colored pencils that I wanted to do. So yeah, it was super fun. I have never finished a page in a mythographic book before, so I feel so accomplished on that side because sometimes they overwhelm me with just like how much is happening. But I'm really, really excited to do the next page in here. You get 2 months to complete the page. I know that if you are interested, Jennifer and Kimberlyn both would be like so happy to welcome you into that group. It's very chill and laid back, but it's a lot of fun. Oh yes, I did a little like 3D gel stuff, like thickness gel in the mirror too, to kind of look like an actual mirror. But yeah, if you're looking for a fun way to color this book, I highly suggest that you do that. But you guys, those are my pages for the month. My takeaways this month is just that I need to continue to play and have fun. I need to continue to let go of like the worry of what the outcome is going to be, or what people are going to say about my pages, and just let it be my journey and let it be something that brings me joy and that lets my pages bring sunshine to my day. Because if that is not occurring, then it's kind of a pointless task. And so I just think the theme for next month is going to keep having fun, to keep seeing where my creativity leads me, and to follow my intuition on that journey. I have a couple pages planned, but other than that, I'm just going to kind of see, where life leads and what pages I feel like coloring in the moment and what mediums kind of are calling to me as well. But I plan to have a lot of fun, and I hope that you are having fun. I hope you are trying new things. I hope you are getting out of your comfort zones. Like, stop playing it safe. Stop playing it, like, don't play small. Be big, be bold, be brave on your pages. Be fearless that you might mess them up. Mess them up, and then see what happens. Mess up the backgrounds and then have to fix them. I think some of the best pages come when we have to pivot. And I just am cheering you on and so excited to see your videos and your pages on Instagram. And I just am so full of gratitude for each of you being here and taking the time to watch my video and be part of this journey with me. So I am sending you all my love and sunshine. Bye for now.